A neurotransmitter is a chemical messenger that carries signals between neurons. They can affect a wide variety of both physical and psychological functions, including heart rate, appetite, mood, and fear. Millions of neurotransmitter molecules work constantly to keep our brains functioning. In order for neurons to send messages throughout the brain, they need to communicate. In order to communicate with the next cell, the signal needs to be able to reach across a tiny gap at the end of each neuron called synapse. This process is known as neurotransmission. A neurotransmitter is released from the axon terminal after an action potential has reached the synapse. When an electrical signal called action potential reaches the end of a neuron, it triggers the release of small sacs called vessels, which contain neurotransmitters. The vessels spill into the synapse, where the neurotransmitters move across the gap to the neighboring cell or postsynaptic neuron. The neurotransmitter then attaches to the receptor, where it can bind and trigger changes in the cell. Now that the neurotransmitter has related its messages, it releases the receptor into the synapse. Some of the neurotransmitter is broken down by enzymes in the synaptic space, and some of the neurotransmitter is carried back into the presynaptic neuron through transporter proteins. The neurotransmitter that is carried back up into the presynaptic neuron is then repackaged into vessels that can be released the next time the action potential reaches the axon terminal, and the entire process repeats. GABA is a neurotransmitter that blocks impulses between nerve cells in the brain. Low levels of GABA are proven to be linked to anxiety. Serotonin is a chemical produced by the body that enables brain cells and other nervous system cells to communicate with one another. Serotonin influences a person's mood and emotions, as well as sleep patterns, appetite, body temperature, and hormonal activity, such as the menstrual cycle. Too little serotonin is thought to play a role in depression.